Good morning and welcome to the United Hour. I am your host, President Chad, and today we've got the breakdown where we break down Manchester United's performance in our last game, which just finished about 15 minutes ago. And maybe I should say break down our lack of performance. Before we start the show, we like to start with going through the lineups and going through all the stuff with the show. After a result like that, I think it is only fair that I give the panelists, and today in the house with me, we have the man Big Phil, we have Black Bruce Wayne, and we have CJ. I decided, I want to give the panelists a little time to vent. I'm going to give everybody 2 minutes to just give me their opinion of what we just witnessed at Old Trafford. Phil, I want to start off with you. You have 2 minutes. The floor is yours. Say what you had to say.
First things first, I don't give a shit about the lineup, okay? All of our Portuguese players on the field were absolute dog shit today. All of our Portuguese players, right? A lot of people tell me, oh, I got some sort of agenda against Bruno. But I can say all of our Portuguese players were absolute shit today. Ronaldo gets a -5 out of 20 today. Bruno gets a 1 out of 20. Diego Dallo probably gets a 3 out of 20. The only positives today were probably Jadon Sancho and Paul Pogba. I can't think of anybody else who performed well. But that was an absolute shit show in the second half. We can't string two halves together. It's almost like boom, first half, and then the Vargo wears off. Right? And then the second half comes. It was all Southampton. We got Southampton looking like Brazil again. My gosh, boy.
CJ, the floor is yours.
Honestly, it's not really much to say except maybe real usual things. To tell me and can do what I do. Like first thing first, Ronaldo become Morata in one game. Like dog, how you always offside?
Wait.
Like, what's your
Wait. Ronaldo become who?
Morata. Man was always offside. Like
okay,
that. At this point, this man playing street football where it have no offside. You know, it has to be loafing every time. Like dog, wait for the ball. Wait. Every game. And the thing is, man had the audacity to argue the ref. Have no arguing the ref, bro. You were gone. Next thing too, I honestly don't understand was the whole reason for him doing that 90 minutes. Bruno, I just don't know why Bruno just doing long passes like King. Just keep it simple. It didn't need all this. And if you're going for the long passes, be direct now. And I think I was done with the game when Bruno actually got a nice ball and it was looking like it was going to Rashford. I was like, goal. But Ronaldo jumped and blocked the pass. It's like, dog, you're not playing for Southampton, King.
Thank you. You better like, was not for Ronaldo. It was for Rashford, correct. Go ahead.
I was like, wait. I say, wait, hold on. Ronaldo, that wasn't for you, though. But
it's one thing to pull down the ball, but you pull down the ball and you do jack with it.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just watch Rashford take the ball and do nothing now. But no. This man take the ball and I think it to myself, all right, let me see. And I saw nothing. It's like, Jesus. It's like, at this point, what are you doing?
Your 2 minutes finished. We have plenty more time to talk during the show. Black Bruce Wayne, the floor is yours.
Okay. I was done with that squad from the moment I saw Harry Maguire on the pitch. And that team, that starting lineup, I said that was it. No, thank you. Because many of you all knew my rant from early on this week. I said Harry does not deserve his place in the squad at all. I wanted to see Victor to pair with Varane. Because after Harry gets skinned out, like he work in Spanish Harlem or that's done or something like that, to turn around to come and see the same thing happen again today. What's this? But again, Ronaldo didn't show up, right? Rashford looks so inconsistent. Sancho, yes, he's coming into his own a little bit, right? And then Pogba bossed the game from his position today. I could say that, but not much else is left to be said about the entire team. It's more or less uh, consistent inconsistency with this team right now. That's what's happening.
Yep.
So
Consistent inconsistency.
The more or less,
I like the sound of that in the sense that aptly puts it together. Let me tell you something. I'm going to give my 2 minutes. And my 2 minutes is simply this. We have to fix the things that need fixing. Ralph came in, we were leaking goals. And what did he do? He put a nice system in place that did not include just sticking a set of men in front of the back line. And we moved from conceding like 24 goals in our last 8 games to conceding like 10 in our last 12, right? So Ralph has handled that. He has made a change. He adjusted the midfield. So at least we're not like Donut FC. Teams not just passing through the middle of us. So Ralph has done that. Right now, I see 2 issues with this team. And United supporters may not like to hear it. They may not want to acknowledge it. Who may want to run around with it. And that is our lack of goal scoring, which is partly due to our underperforming and no legs Cristiano Ronaldo and Harry Maguire in the backline. Dealing with Harry is easy. Drop Harry, bring Lindelof. That is not complicated.
Not at all.
Dealing with Ronaldo is a little more complicated than that. But for me, Ronaldo needs dropping. Ronaldo is getting too many good chances and messing it up. But we're going to go through all of that during the game. We have one more addition to the program today. The man, Zachary. How are you doing this morning, Zach?
Good morning, everyone. Just utter disappointment, to be honest.
Well, you have 2 minutes, Zach. You go and, free your mind.
I think the choice of lineup was good. Apart from Maguire, I would have gone with Lindelof. I don't really like Maguire, honestly. And I like the choices of wing backs. De Gea, Pogba, McTominay, Fernandes. I think that was a good choice. I just think that Ronaldo seems to be off the pace at the moment, and I wouldn't have started Rashford either. I would have started Elanga in that game. And when he came on, he was quite bright, and but that was probably one of Rashford's worst performances, to be honest.
Even with the assists.
Yeah, even with the assist, because the amount of crosses that he was sending in, that just wasn't it. And you could see that he wanted to try and cut in and shoot, which is his normal MO. And he just doesn't look for the run of Shaw, Dalot doing the overlap. And I don't know, I just think Elanga would have been the better option to go with at the start and bring on Rashford as a sub, and he would have had something to prove. I don't know, that would have been my option, but I'm just really down about it.
So it's pretty much the same lineup as the last game, except for Ronaldo in front and Cavani unavailable. He had some issues. They were giving him therapy and he just wasn't available at all. So Cavani wasn't in the squad. And let's be real. I said during the United Hour on Thursday that we have 2 old men in front. And at this stage, we need to acknowledge that is the situation Manchester United find themselves in. We have 2 old men leading the line at Manchester United. One was unavailable because he caught cramp and wasn't able to be ready. You understand? Which happens when you get old. Somebody need to send them some Bengays or some, what people with arthritis is use sometimes in the Caribbean. I hear WD-40. Spray some WD-40 on your limbs. It works. It may sound strange. You know what I mean? But try it. I'm not a doctor. Don't go and do it and say, right? I'm not a doctor, but I hear from people who've done it. WD-40 works. We need, people just wonder why Cristiano Ronaldo be running off the pitch. I think he just be running off the pitch to run and jump in a tub of WD-40 because he knows
You
he's
know,
old.
I have a song. I have a song for Ronaldo. You know, I drop this for you.
You have a song for Ronaldo? Go ahead.
Yeah.
You're old, floating like a geezer.
All right. We don't want the videos to get to get sanctioned for copyright. But that song is definitely most appropriate, right? So we started the game as United usually starts off the game very positive, right? Phil, I'm going to be throwing this to you, so get ready for it, right? Ronaldo gets a wonderful through ball. He wrongs the goalkeeper, and then he flicks it towards the goal, and it was an easy clear of the line. It wasn't difficult because it had zero pace, and it was to the middle of the goal. It wasn't close to the corner.
Yeah.
You know, now Phil, what was that? Was that just Ronaldo's unawareness that there was another defender trailing the play, or was just that poor finishing? Tell me.
It was just poor finishing. At the end of the day, Ronaldo has not been Ronaldo that we know since what, December 2021, right? Because the guy, Ronaldo at Real Madrid, Ronaldo at Juventus would have finished that with consummate ease, right? But for some reason, nothing happened today. Nothing has been happening this year for Ronaldo, right? And when nothing goes right for you, it just keeps on manifesting. And Ronaldo definitely would have scored that a couple seasons ago, but
Mhm.
I I don't know, man. I I'm kind of frustrated with Ronaldo right now. Very frustrated. Like you can't be this so-called leader and not be finishing those, right? Finish your dinner. You can't be this so-called person who wants to lead Manchester United to trophies and can't even finish that. I'm frustrated with him, and I don't want to see him start for the next couple of games. I don't. I don't give a shit if you play a false nine. I don't. I don't
Facts.
want to see Ronaldo starting the next 3 or 4 games. I don't care if you throw a mother hissy fit. I don't. You can come off the bench and make an impact. But I think this team will be playing better without Ronaldo on the field. That's just my take.
Black Bruce Wayne, Carlton says, it's time for the Ronaldo experiment to end. Um, do you think we reached to that point? Do you think we've reached it?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I think that Ronaldo is just lacking confidence right now because he hasn't scored in so long. And a couple runs and things he made today, he was trying to force the issue a little bit, and then realized he doesn't have the legs at coming to the later stage of the game itself. But more or less, he's just lacking confidence. You could actually see it in some of his play, and some of the missed passes by both Rashford, Bruno, and Sancho today didn't aid his cause at all.
Very, very true. Very, very true. Um, Martin follows up on Carlton's statement, Zach, and he says, that the Ronaldo experiment will be a very costly one for us to end.
How so?
Do you agree with that? Because we're not talking. I don't think he's talking cost in terms of money, right?
Mhm.
We already spending the money on his wages. We already paid Juve about 25 million for him. I don't think it's that, but the entire fallout. We've already been hearing about rifts in the club. You could imagine if Ralph walks in that dressing room and says, "Yeah, what's going on? Ronaldo, you're benching the next game." Uh, what? How should we treat with this?
I mean, I could see where he's coming from, how it would be costly, adding to all of the drama that's going on with the club at the moment. But we have to think more about the performances on the field and the results that we're getting. So
Or
if it
not
means
getting, as the case may be.
exactly, and so if it means letting Ronaldo take a backseat for a bit and maybe trying something different, I know Cavani's injured at the moment. Maybe try Lingard up front. I'm not sure, but I just think that would bring something fresh, and it would make Ronaldo want to have a big impact off the bench, similar with Rashford if Elanga's the one starting. But yeah, I mean, I think it would be a better decision, as Phil said. Don't let him start the next game, and Brighton's going to be a tough game. So
Now, guys, I want to send this to CG. We knew this was going to be a tough game. I watched Southampton Spurs in the week. Southampton played very well. Spurs got the lead. They were 2-1 up. And the truth
Yeah.
be told, to me, watching that game, they didn't deserve to be 2-1 up because Spurs were not playing well. So when Southampton came back and won the game, I thought they deserved it. So I knew we were not going to be slouching. But we have demolished this Hassan Hugel, or however you pronounce his name, team, right? We have
He's also
demolished this team. Well, I don't want to say Ralph because people might wonder which Ralph I'm talking about.
He's
right?
also Ralph.
Is
He also
Ralph for
Yeah.
Southampton and Ralph for United in terms of
They
head
are,
coach.
they are forced
right?
the other Ralph to take over.
Yeah, so,
Nah,
well,
right.
we know what this team, we saw what this team was capable of in the week, but we have demolished this team playing with these same tactics in the past, right? We had our chances. We should have been 3-0 up in the first half. We're going to get to the goal after this question to CG. Why were we did so much right. We didn't put any fouls, giving James Ward-Prowse any chances. We didn't foul anybody around the box. Generally we did so much right. But why is it that this team seems not to be taking the next step?
I feel it has to be down to some players' mentality as well, because let's be very honest. I saw people saying Ralph out, and I men ain't fed up with the cycle, boy. Men ain't understanding was the normal problem. A good bit of the side not really pushing. If you watch that game real good, if you watch certain choices being made, there's certain things that are not right. A good example, Rashford, aside from the assist, I don't know what was Rashford doing. I tell myself, bro, you just you. I literally call my partner and say when he was getting mad at how come Sancho not passing men. Pause. If I see my brethren slinging more bricks than Pablo Escobar in the 70s to the 80s, why the hell am I gonna pass to you, bro? There's a lack of faith in the team as well, and a lot of work ethic. You can't be mad when fellas take certain choices. So for me, I feel there is a mentality problem because, as you said, Chad, we haven't been conceding as how we used to concede. We literally handled set pieces well in this game. I was surprised every set free kick, every corner. I was like, wait, nobody bottling anything. Like I could be relaxed with the little free set pieces now. It's just that we don't have that extra mentality or extra members with the mentality to push the team. And I feel that's just
I want to ask President Chad a question because he said that we're not conceding as much, right? Under Ralph. Fair enough. Ralph has played a big 6 team as yet. You really think
that is true? That is true, but let's be honest. We get 4 from Watford, and we got how much from Leicester? And
4.
Leicester,
4.
this team, Leicester is by no way a big 6 team either. So we have to acknowledge that it wasn't just Liverpool and City beating us. You understand what I'm saying? We was getting licked from everybody.
Let me ask another question. We're not conceding because our defense is that great or the other team is not clinical?
I think because we have a little more control in defense.
And here,
which is something Ralph has worked on. That is the only reason I think we're not conceding. Because the truth is, Harry Maguire is still a big hole. So Harry Maguire have zero pace. People know what. Let me tell you something. Right now, I broke my leg a couple of years ago. You understand what I'm saying? I have a rod in my leg, and I know I could beat Harry Maguire in a foot race. You
Bruh,
understand? That is the
Bruh.
reality of it.
bruh. That's a grown man, but
Dog, I
Yo,
choosing Phil Jones
yo.
over him, dog. Honestly.
Yo,
If-
you know,
say how bad?
I've been following football for quite a while, right? I've seen no look passing, I've seen no look goals, and today Harry Maguire invented no look
Another
defending.
tackle.
Jesus
Maguire.
Lord.
Harry
Come to the
Maguire.
end of the game.
Jesus Lord.
Coming to
My
the end of the
God.
game, and a man who would have seen plenty of this in his life, right? Bruce Wayne could chime in on this. I saw Harry try to do a two-step. I said, but wait, the game done and they're playing music. You know, I mean, that was never a football tackle. That wasn't a block. That had to be a two-step. He was listening to some kind of music.
He was listening to 2000.
Talk to me, Black Bruce Wayne. What song Harry was hearing in his head when he tried that two-step?
Do this stanky
No,
leg.
because the thing is, I feel he was trying to do electric slide, but my mother
The electric
have a
slide.
electric slide
I was
than Harry
actually
Maguire, so
thinking.
no
I
way.
was thinking that honestly.
Cha-cha
My mother
slide,
have a
cha-cha
better-
slide. How do be?
My mother have a better electric slide than Harry Maguire if that is the case.
What
That's
was
he
Yeah,
that?
but
doing
we
that
all
channel.
know. I mean, no disrespect to Zach, but we all know white men can't dance. He need to stop it. All I saying is Harry Maguire need to stop it. Right?
All right. Good
Stop it.
afternoon, everybody. I'm gonna leave on that one though.
So what is
What's this? What is this?
What is Harry Maguire looking at? What
Man.
is Harry Maguire looking at?
Man's ready.
tell it how to be a dance move? It
This
have
gotta be
to
a
be
this
a
this
dance
gotta be a
move.
new dance
That's
move.
not
Oh
a
my
football
God.
tackle.
Man doing the cha-cha slide, yes?
It's almost like the guy looking to do the Willy Bunks to the right,
Yeah,
and
something
all
like
you gotta
that.
do.
No.
You know what? You know what?
Basically,
You know
every
what?
time
This
I see
reminds
it,
me of the Japanese Spider-Man.
oh my
That's
god.
his position before he.
Oh my god, no. Oh my god, I see it. I can't unsee it actually. Every time I see this, I see him. Right foot, 2 stumps. Left foot, 2 stumps.
All I see is a Willy Bunks. All I see is a Willy Bunks. All I see is a Willy Bunks. That is all
this
I
going-
see. A Willy Bunks.
is this going to be a meme?
Willy Bunks. Willy Bunks. That's all I'm seeing.
Man looking like an extra for Elephant Man, yes?
Mr. Wacky is gone, but his dancing is on. Oh my gosh, boy. This guy is something else, boy.
You know what? You know what? We can keep it local, you know. That is Harry Maguire allowing somebody to come inside the carnival pot. That's all. That's all.
You know,
It's gonna
so
be a meme.
it should be a meme.
No,
Guys, I wasn't joking, you know. When I said I thought he was doing the electric slide, you know, as soon as I saw it, I pick up my phone and I sent a voice note in one of the United chats I'm in. I said, what dance is Harry Maguire trying to do there? Because it have to be a dance move. It have to be. And not just that. Sometimes you might improvise, right? You see how far away his foot landed from the ball? Even if he got it on, the man was just going to move around him. He wasn't even close. It had to be a dance move. But anyway, let's talk about the 30th minute. Right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the 30th minute. The 21st minute, sorry. Bruno Fernandes hits an absolute beauty over the top. Rashford collects it, takes it down the road, and perfect pass across the face of the goal for a tap in from Jadon Sancho. That is what, 2 goals in his last 3 games for Manchester United for Jadon Sancho. You know, that was one of many bright spots. And I'm telling you right now, when I saw that move, as good as I felt seeing us score, when the camera drew back and I saw how far Cristiano Ronaldo was trailing the play, I was like, this is not a good sign for the rest of the game. You know, Manchester United's pace is what was opening doors for us whole game. And the reality is that there are only 3 people on the field who could play with our pace. And that's Rashford, Sancho, and Bruno Fernandes, if he was up front, right? But he was normally the one passing the ball. But you know, what did you think about our goal, Big Phil?
It was the smartest thing Marcus Rashford did. You know, the
All
build
game?
up. Huh?
All game?
Yeah, all game. It was smartest and only thing Marcus Rashford did well. Right? The ball from Bruno was a brilliant ball. Marcus Rashford of old would have taken a shot at the goalkeeper, and I don't know what the ball had gone, but to cross it to Sancho, you know when you're playing FIFA and it's two on one with the keeper, right? Instead of pressing O, you can press X or you can press triangle,
Sweaty.
right? That's what it got to do. And that was a smart decision by Marcus Rashford. He didn't press O, he pressed X or he pressed triangle, and I'm impressed with that. One love to United, and I can stop there for now.
Anybody else want to talk about the goal before we move on?
Honestly, we were at a
Go ahead, CJ.
Yeah, good.
Honestly, I just real happy that the only bright side of the United football that Jadon Sancho is actually coming into himself. We've seen him taking on and being successful. I mean, look at the Burnley game. Man was sending man for beers. Man, oh boy, amazing, right? Crying or that man back to snatching souls. It's just that his attacking teammates not good. As I play the song, one is old. And well, Rashford, he ain't feeding the side boy. When I see the crosses, I just get depressed, It's like, who you sending this to? Did we get a Spanish striker named No One? Because I try to understand. You get out one good pass and the whole game is like, let me just sling bricks like my name is Pablo. That man had to get charged for drugs, boy. That man selling drugs.
Rashford hasn't beaten the first man on any cross for the whole game. No, I lie. There was one overhead cross. But other than that, the first Southampton defender headed the ball out. Right through.
That man was in defense practice, boy. It was training.
So basically,
Zach, go ahead before we move on.
No, I was just gonna say that I know a lot of people criticize Bruno and the amount of times he gives away the ball, but I mean, we saw how significant that pass was to Rashford. And
The truth be told, if guys did more with the passes that Bruno gave,
yeah,
we wouldn't be talking about how much times he mispassed the ball because we would have had so much goals. We'd have be here doing our own Willy Bongs.
Yeah. And yeah, it's really wonderful to see Sancho as honestly like the main light in this dark time for United. But I just would love it if he was in a team that was really confident and showing their abilities, and hopefully we'll get that soon. But it's looking very depressing at the moment. So,
Bruce Wayne, I want to send this comment in your direction. Aaron Charles says Rashford is another Welbeck. Only difference, he plays wide. He definitely can't make a top team 11. Agree or disagree?
I disagree.
Well, go ahead.
Because last season, Rashford with a bad back, a bad shoulder, and a bad ankle. What wasn't his stats kind of top class, top draw? So all of a sudden this season he's not having a great season. Although he got the corrective surgery done. You want to throw him in the bin? It's just that he's been in and out of the team and he just lacks confidence also. And Ralph is trying to play him back into some form. And I do agree with CJ where he said he's just slinging bricks. Because at points I say, is Phil Jones on the pitch? He wearing Phil Jones boots something? Because if you are crossing the ball and it can't even beat the first man, as you're saying, Chad, something is wrong there. So probably we need Harry Maguire to stamp on his ankle or something like that. Because he's playing within himself. But I don't believe I strongly disagree with that statement by Aaron there that he's another Welbeck. Because as I said, his numbers last season were very good. They were very good. And that was a good season for him too.
One of the things I would like to see? I would like to see a full training session with Manchester United. Because this is what I asked myself watching Rashford, especially in the second half.
Yeah.
He leaves the ball too far ahead of him to try to beat, right? To try to take on players. So the defender, once the defender is rash, is always able to take the ball off of him, or he hits the ball on the defender's leg. He isn't able to pass anybody. Then there was a point late in the game, probably the 86th minute, where he got a ball. His first touch was bad, so the ball came off of him a little bit, but he had space. He went, kicked the ball to give himself a little room to shoot, to take the ball away from the defender that had time reach him. His second touch was bad. He kicked the ball again to try to give himself more room to shoot or to create some. His third touch was bad. And a defender just took the ball and ran away. And I'm thinking to myself, is it that defenders are standing off Marcus Rashford in practice? That he does these things in practice and he comes to play games and he thinks, I don't need to keep the ball close to my foot. My close control don't need to be good. I could leave the ball dangling there. And I mean, I've beaten Harry Maguire and Varane in practice. I could deal with these guys. You know, Wan-Bissaka struggling to deal with me in practice. I could deal with these guys. Because game after game, we know Marcus Rashford is a better dribbler. People talking about Marcus Rashford decision making. My biggest issue with Marcus Rashford is not his decision making. I don't mind if he shoot once he's on target when he should pass, or if he pass when sometimes he maybe should shoot. I have a problem with the fact that Marcus Rashford gives the ball away by losing the ball in the corner of the box at least twice every game. Every game Marcus plays.
Isn't that down to decision making?
No, but not to ref. Give me ref. What you're saying is true to our point. There are times when he gets the ball and he should pass it instead of taking on a player, right? But the incident I spoke about today, when he collected the ball in the corner, enough space around him, he had about 3 yards of space, and he gave 3 bad touches. That's not bad decision making. That's bad touches. Even when he makes the right decision, defenders are just he makes it too easy for defenders to take the ball off of him.
He said, I feel sorry.
Go ahead, CJ.
I know. I think what you're trying to say is that in his movement, he sets himself to get figured out easily. He doesn't make you guess, because if you watch it good,
it's like zero trickery.
Yeah, because
you know he stands up and he postures his body, and the defender knows. Yeah, well, I know what you're gonna do. Take the ball and go.
Yeah,
it's like,
you want to know the best part or the worst part? Sorry, is that Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford could dominate this Premier League. You know, Bruno Fernandes knows how to pass a football. Marcus Rashford is probably top 5 fastest right wingers or left wingers in this EPL. Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford could dominate this EPL because there's no left back that is catching Marcus Rashford, in my opinion. There aren't much left backs that can catch Marcus Rashford in this EPL. Just give the ball to Bruno. Marcus Rashford, I kid you not, Marcus Rashford can have a 2-second delay on a left back or right back and still win the football.
Correct.
Yep. I feel the best example. Remember that goal where he ran around the fella and then scored?
Yes.
It kind of shows you that to do that, you need a good amount of pace and a good amount of control. Marcus Rashford.
And this is what is frustrating me.
Yeah.
Because we know what Marcus Rashford is capable of.
Very.
But when game after game after game, you're not beating the defender. You're not beating him. When you try to run into the box, you're losing the ball. When you cross the ball, you're dropping it a yard too short. I mean,
okay.
You had to ask yourself, we talk about, and we know it's not legs. Marcus Rashford is not leggy. With Cristiano Ronaldo, we could talk about, his legs, his legs starting to go, fatigue, age, whatever you want to say. But with Marcus Rashford, it's like, what's the problem with you? Right. What is going on with you?
Which is what I pointed out, Chad. Go ahead, Zach.
Well, you go ahead because you're replying to his point. I was going to say something different.
Okay, well, Chad, because what I said, because remember, Marcus Rashford has been scoring 10 plus goals 3 seasons in a row.
Yep.
Right? He's currently on 4 goals. And all the time, and as you say, you know him as a dribbler. And Marcus Rashford, every time he dribbles, and more times often than not in previous seasons, he's always getting brought down like how Eden Hazard used to get brought down all the time, which brought about injuries. So more or less, it could be a psychological thing with him at this point in time. Some of the dribbles he used to attempt in the past were probably the root cause of him getting those injuries, because the players either stand on his feet, either chuck him in his ribs, or even fall on top of him when he goes past them sometimes. So that could be probably a psychological thing for him.
So you are saying it's probably all in his mind.
All in his mind, yeah.
And this is why I brought in practice. You know, we don't just say things here on the United Hour and on the breakdown casually. You know, we try to break things down, not just for laughs and kicks, but actually to present solutions. You know, maybe we need some more one-on-one drills with Rashford for him to build his confidence up in that specific area. Because maybe you're right. Maybe he goes into stuff and in the back of his mind, he's afraid of getting tackled. In the back of his mind, he's afraid of getting hit. And if that happens, I've seen that across sports, whether it's basketball.
If that is the case, President Chad, go and play dominoes then. Go and play tennis.
Okay.
Go and play golf. You don't want to get tackled in the sport called football. Go from around the sport.
All right.
Go and play FIFA. Come and play FIFA with me on PS4 online. Come.
All right, but
talking bullshit, man.
I kind of understand Bruce Wayne's point.
These guys getting paid over 200,000 a week, President Chad. Off of that bullshit, man. Talking about I am afraid to get tackled.
It's like
with that, man.
Yeah, but no, you have to understand something, right? You're getting paid millions of dollars to do this and do that. But remember, you like that you're injured for a season. Come on, next season, you're still injured, carrying that same injury, doing the same things, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. It is a psychological thing. It's not about just you're getting paid millions of dollars. No, hold on, wait. It's not about you're getting paid millions of dollars. You're still a human being also. You're being paid to perform. You have to perform, but it's still in the back of your mind. Pain.
And here the thing with it too, in the timeline of the injuries. Let me look at it. Marcus Rashford has played a good or half of the whole season last season injured. He lost this man lost 2 finals. He missed a penalty. And top of that, before, this man was seen as the darling of English media and world media. Because in a poll in last year, he was literally the 3rd most liked English person in the country. That's real heights. That's real heights for a youth man. I ain't gonna lie. So when you get injured, when you see certain things happen to you, and then you have to go out there, you're thinking to yourself, I don't want to get injured again. I don't want to get injured to the point I let the team down. And there's a lot of overthinking and a lot of anxiety. Our next example in sports, I remember this guy, I remember when people looked at Anderson Silva, when he broke his leg. Mentally, that shifted the man real hard. It wasn't just age. Mentally, he said that really shifted because he was like, I want to keep doing this, but at the same time, I don't want it to happen. It keeps playing at the back of your mind. And when you look at injuries, when you look at simple things in a normal day that affect a human being, imagine being a sportsman that you have to do this every day, and it could potentially get worse. So yeah, I understand.
And I hear Phil.
Yeah,
I hear Phil in the sense that this way you're getting paid to do, but the reality is we are not fearless. Most of us are not fearless human beings. After a negative experience, it is a natural response, whether emotional or physical, to kind of step back and be like, you know. And that is why I'm saying we need to give Rashford these drills, one-on-one running into the box drills. That's what we need to do, because we need to get out of his mind. We need to build the fearlessness back into him and improve his decision making. If you're afraid, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to switch from Rashford to CR7 now. If you're afraid as Rashford to take on players when then make a better decision and make a quick pass. If I was CR7 right now, CR7 has evolved. from a pacey, tricky winger
So
to a deadly striker. And I think he needs to evolve one more. But that needs him to be a little unselfish, which is to a facilitator.
a
It
mentor.
was a shot CR7 took. No, for the CR7 of all, it wasn't a bad shot, but Rashford was in the 6-yard box.
Yep.
And if he had crossed it across the face of the goal, we know Rashford would finish that. Maybe CR7 needs to start thinking to himself, yeah, what? I cannot do what I used to do. And again, sweat. I'm not getting dropped. Let me look to pass the ball. Let me look to facilitate. These
Okay.
youth men and them faster than me. When I get the ball and have a fast break, instead of passing the ball back so that I could get in the position to score, let me turn around and look forward and cross the ball for these guys who run in and facilitate. If Cristiano Ronaldo has 10 assists for the rest of the season and only has a few more goals, I will take that, because in
Yeah.
the reality, we have to do the best with what we have. There's no transfer window available. We can't just change things. I looked at Cristiano today and I thought, if he just thought a little bit to try to be a facilitator, he would be more of an asset to this team than he is right now. Defensively, Ralph can't do everything he wants to do because CR doesn't have the legs, right? So the team does kind of hold back the press. I don't know if you all realize it, but I realize it. The team does press,
Yeah.
yes, but we hold the press from the front because CR don't have the legs to do it, right? And offensively, you don't have the legs for the fast break.
So then why start
Exactly.
why start CR then? Yeah.
That's our next time, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of politics involved with CR7.
Let me ask you a
heard,
question.
I don't know how true.
Let me ask you a question. When last you see Man United do this gen press? When last you see it? Ask yourself that.
We can't press from the front.
Palace.
Yeah, Palace.
First half an hour.
And Palace was Raul's first game in charge in 2021.
Yeah, but we can't do it with CR in front. We could press how we do press. There were times in the game where we pressed very effectively. But who led the press when we press effectively? Bruno Fernandes.
Always.
Or sometimes even Pogba. Even Pogba ran up and was pressing. But once Ronaldo leading the press, we don't press well.
And
We are
also,
Wait. So against Crystal Palace, who was the front three? Not Ronaldo and two other idiots.
Yeah,
And we
well,
still- and we still press.
maybe. Yeah, but that was for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, we haven't seen Ronaldo press effectively.
also too, let me look at it. Even in the Chelsea game when our man was arguing, remember when we were playing Chelsea and we were literally giving it to Chelsea and pressuring Chelsea? That was before Ralph. And as soon as Ronaldo came on, that extra man running it died. It kind of died too. So I understand what you're saying. But at the same, yeah.
Go ahead, CJ.
But at the same time, too, Ronaldo can't play every game. For me personally, if you say Ronaldo is exclusively for some games and for Champions League, I wouldn't be mad, But he really does need to become a facilitator at the end of the day, because he can't do the things he used to do at the end of the day. And for me, he needs to mentor guys like Rashford, who again is struggling from that whole scared and thing. And to justify Rashford case, it's like if a girl cheat on you, really, you ain't really want to go back in the game one time. You can't do that just so. You need somebody to talk to you and tell you, hey, I understand, and so. And Ronaldo could be that guy for Rashford easily. Ronaldo has lost finals. I mean, we've seen Ronaldo lose finals. He knows how it is. And I feel if he goes into that experienced mentor role, I feel he would be better even if he started.
Yeah, but for Ronaldo to do that, Ronaldo has to accept that I am not the best version of myself and be willing to change as he has evolved. Now, do I think he's capable of it? Yes, but I don't think he's reached that point now. You know what I thought about, guys? And I want Zach, I thought if I was Ralph, I would actually take footage of the last 5 games, a collection of all the times Ronaldo failed to reach to the ball or collected the ball and failed to get a shot off, or even when he got a shot off, failed to get a shot on target with any kind of power. all the headers that he's missed and just collect all of it and sit Ronaldo down. You're not going to do this in front of the team and play it for him. Because sometimes people need to be jarred into reality. Like, yeah, what's going on? And ask him straight up. You know, a year ago, were you going to miss all those headers? You watching it for yourself, right? Just you on screen. Were you missing that? A year ago, were you unable to finish that? Because if the team, and what I was going to say is I heard that there may be in Ronaldo's contract amount of time that he has to play clause. So the club, has to play him. If that is true, and we kind of do have a choice, we have to play Ronaldo, and maybe for other political and economic reasons as well. We have to try to get the best out of him. Zach, do you think we could turn Ronaldo into a facilitator?
Well, I think Ronaldo can be a facilitator. But honestly, in the back of his mind, he's always going to be telling himself, I'm Ronaldo. I score all these goals, and the people around me, as Robert is saying, should be, trying to be at my level and supporting me. Like, why should he have to be the one to, assist and everything? He's supposed to be the deadly striker that we're supposed to set up. And but I mean, Ronaldo is Ronaldo, and he should be able to manage the situation and be able to see that he can't run as he used to be able to, and try to make the best out of the time that he has. And if he has a better option in terms of passing, then make the better option. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think it's possible, but he's going to always want to be, the focus, the
Always
attention.
want to be the hero.
Yeah. So
Phil, I know you gotta head out, so I want you to leave on this note. This is the third game in a row. Manchester United has played an unbelievable first 45 minutes. Right? I think we limited Southampton to one shot. The game before this game, who was it? Burnley. First
yeah,
half, Burnley again probably only had one shot. The first half against Middlesbrough had 0 shots. We have totally controlled the first 45 minutes of football in the last 3 games. We have created multiple good chances. Do you think Ralph is going to be able to get this team to put 2 good halves together between now and our next game, which is on Tuesday?
We can put 2 halves together, but they just won't be in the same game. That's all I can say. Right?
So the answer is no.
I don't want to leave on a negative note, right? Because there have been some improvements in the way this team has been playing, right? The way we were playing in November, December versus now, there have been some improvements. Don't get me wrong. We have more control of the game, and we definitely look better passing the ball forward, right? It's just that when you mentioned earlier in the week, we got 2 old guys up top, right? Can those 2 old guys play for 90 minutes? We don't know. No, definitely not Cavani for sure, right? Can those 2 old guys maintain their focus? Can the entire team maintain their focus for 90 minutes? And that's a big I don't know. We've strung together 2 halves in like maybe 1 or 2 games under Ralph, but other than that, we either have the first half being well and the second half being poor, or versa. The times we have played piss poor in the first half, and then we turn it around in the second half, right? I think it's possible, right? We just need about 3 or 4 players to get this pep talk at halftime. Because whatever Ralph is saying, I guess isn't working. So Ralph plus 3 or 4 other players need to give this pep talk, saying, you know what? Let's continue that momentum into the second half. Don't give up. Somebody needs to talk to Harry Maguire as well, too. Somebody.
A therapist.
Big Phil.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Yeah, for sure, man, guys. Take care.
Right, well, I'm gonna say
All
one
right,
thing.
brother.
Yeah,
Right.
see,
Guys, I want to ask this question, and then we're gonna look to shut it down.
Yeah.
I wrote this question. I take notes during games because I wanna. Too many times when I host shows, sometimes you have a lot of points, and then men start to talk, and then you're reading comments, and then before you know it, it's like when the game finished, I'm like, shit, I was supposed to say this. So I start making notes. I sit down and I watch Manchester United play with a notebook now, right? And at halftime, this is what I wrote down. Halftime, 1-0. Honestly, how do you feel heading into the second half? And I want everybody to answer that. Put aside, yes, but go back into your mind. At halftime, Bruce Wayne, did you feel, gosh, this is gonna be deja vu? Or did you feel, yeah, man, we got this? How did you feel at halftime?
I felt we had this because I went to make breakfast at halftime, and God Almighty to walk back to sit down with my breakfast to come and see Southampton equalize. That's when deja vu kicked in because I know after that first half I said yes, we were looking good because we actually we scored, but the goal was offside at the end of the first half, if I'm not mistaken, right? We ended the first half more or less on par, but we edged a little bit. So I said, okay, cool, we have this, but to see what took place or transpired when Southampton equalized was deja vu kicked in one time.
All right, Zach, how did you feel at halftime?
Um. Okay. Well, the first 30 minutes, I think we did well, and then the 15 minutes right before halftime, I was like, I'm not really feeling as optimistic as I was, in the first 30. And then at halftime, I was thinking, I had this weird feeling that they were gonna score like right away, and they did. And then I was like,
Yeah,
I don't see us scoring again. Like I kind of felt it felt deja vu is the right word. I just felt like, boy, we're gonna have to real put in a shift, and again, they did not put it in. So at halftime, I was leaning more on the less optimistic side of the scale. So
CJ, halftime, where were you at? Where
room.
was your mind at?
I was saying, let me see what happened, man. Things looking good. As soon as I concede, I put on the gospel channel and I play a rash short here. I felt say, hold me, Jesus. Hold me, Jesus. Hold me, Jesus. Just hold me, Jesus. Because I can't do it no more. Nah. I was like, nah, boy, this ain't it. I say, fellas, I really didn't get up to go through this stress
Early on a Saturday morning,
early
right?
on Saturday. I ain't even clean yet, boy. Where is this? I ain't even clean yet. Where is this, dog?
You know,
Man.
oh my
I
gosh.
how did
we
you
have
feel,
had
Chad?
certain coaches in the past. Sorry, Zach, what were you saying?
I said, how did you feel?
Oh, um, I felt honestly, I felt deja vu, which is why I wrote the question. I felt deja vu, and the reason I wrote the question. I said, did that was what was in my mind. However, before the second half start, I talked myself into believing we would keep a clean sheet. By the time we started the second half, I was like, nah, man, child, man, nah, the team, we got this, we'll get this. Even when they scored, I was like, nah, we got it. The only where's my, you know what I knew for sure? I knew Ronaldo wasn't going to score.
Well,
And I was calling early for Ronaldo to get taken off. Right? Corey and I in a few groups together, but in one group in particular, he would have seen me comment early in the second half, sub Ronaldo.
That was when
When I say early, real early, I talking about like the 50th minute, I was like sub Ronaldo.
damn.
Ronnie said if he sub Ronaldo and Rashford, and you said please.
Yep.
Yeah, because
He
I
did.
just knew.
He did.
That is what I knew for sure. I felt we were going to win. I felt we had it in us to come back, but I just knew Ronaldo was not good. Let me tell you something. There are times you could just see it.
Yeah.
The team had a good first half.
Yeah.
Ronaldo didn't. I
No.
didn't expect him to get better in the second half. I just didn't.
Um,
So,
Yeah.
you know, Ralph really has it to do because every issue that this team has had, you give Ralph a couple games, he seems to figure it out.
Out.
Scott McTominay is not by any means an elite or even a good CDM, but he has figured out to get that midfield at least to work with Scott, Pogba, and Bruno. Right? At least it works. It is not dysfunctional, and we don't need two holding midfielders to
Not crying for
babysit
Fred. Not crying for Fred.
the centre back. To me, Harry Maguire. We don't need two holding midfielders. We could have two creative players on the field now with Scott. So he has worked and fixed stuff. I don't know how you could fix a striker that not scoring goals. When you're creating chances for him. The team is creating chances. I don't want nobody to come and make no excuses for Ronaldo talking about, oh, the team don't create You can't be watching Manchester United the last 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
The man has been getting chances, right? So I don't know what Ralph could do, but he had to do something because top 4 is still in our grasp. Spurs are struggling. Arsenal are struggling. West Ham is struggling because their number 9 hasn't scored since when? November? When last Antonio scored a goal,
Yeah, a few months ago.
yeah, a few months ago.
right? So everybody around us, do you all realize that if we won the last 2 games, we would have been closer to Chelsea than everybody else?
Yes.
We would have been talking about finishing 3rd.
Yeah.
Those 4 points, if we add them to our score and looking at Chelsea's erratic form, we would be talking about 3rd. So we are still in a good position, but let me tell you, I'm just gonna say what I was gonna do, and then I'm gonna go around and everybody will tell us what do we think we need to do before we head into the next game or for the next game. I think we need to drop Ronaldo and we need to go with a dynamic 3 up front. Rashford, Ilanga, Sancho. We have nothing to lose putting that energy in front there. Ilanga is going to give you high energy for 90 minutes. We all now have an admiration for Ilanga that we did not have at the beginning of the season because of his performances.
Yeah.
If we're going to play Ronaldo, bring Ronaldo on in second half. Let him be the one with the legs when the defenders don't have legs. But that's my thing. That's what I think we need to do. At least try it. We need to give Ronaldo more time off. You see, there's playing him one game and then playing him the next game. We need to treat Ronaldo like how we used to treat Cavani when he first came. We understood his injury issue. We understood his age. If Cavani played this game, we knew he wasn't going to play the next game.
See,
We need to start doing that with Ronaldo.
yeah,
because
you gotta bring him in the senior citizen program. Program.
So for me, that's what I would want to see. I want to see 3 guys up front that are dynamic and that are energetic, right? And when we make a sub, we need to stop letting Lingard be the last sub.
Yep.
Right? Maybe we need to start bringing Lingard on a little earlier because Lingard, at least based on the last time we saw him really run against West Ham, still have legs. And Lingard still has that energy. And he still has some dynamism and something to add off the bench. Bringing Lingard on in the 80th minute, 1, psychologically for him, I don't think it makes sense. And 2, it just is too much of a struggle. We need to bring him on with enough time for him to impact the game.
Okay.
He can't be the last sub. So my thing for the next game, drop Ronaldo, drop Harry Maguire, start Ilanga, start Lindelof, and that's it. I don't think this team could play worse doing those 2 things than we have played in the last 3 games because we have played very well. And I do expect the levels to drop with Ilanga up front because we just not getting it from CR7, and Maguire continues to show himself as, not up to the task, both as a captain and as a defender. Bruce Wayne, what would you like to see heading into the next game?
All right. Two quick things. Right. This Ronaldo drought reminds me of the Van Persie drought. Remember
Oh,
in
yeah, boy.
Alex Ferguson's last season? It's
Yeah, I
about
remember that.
2 months and a little bit that Van Persie hasn't scored, and all the critics were on his back. So this Ronaldo situation is similar to that. That aside, from what I will love to see taking place against Brighton, we play Brighton on Tuesday at 4:15 Eastern Standard Time, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I would say yes, bench Ronaldo. Obviously, bench Maguire.
Yep.
Maguire not supposed to be in the team.
With rights. With
Not
rights.
in the team. Not even in the team.
With
Not
rights.
in the team. No.
Right.
But I will obviously start Ilanga. I will start Ilanga. I will start Sancho, and I will start Rashford up top. The Pogba, McTominay, and Bruno. That midfield trio is doing its job for now. All right. Dallo needs a little whisper in his ear that, yo, bro, your performances while you're attacking well, your defensive output isn't all that. So
Yeah.
pull up the socks, please,
Fair enough.
because there'll be a game where we don't need him to attack as much, but need him to defend, and he'll get skinned out like his Spanish hollow. Right. So
Yeah, I think with Paul Pogba on the pitch, the low needs to take it on a little bit.
yes,
Go ahead.
yes. All right. So that is me. That we just need to focus more now on men pressing together, getting that cohesive press again, right? And then also looking for the pass and trying to overcompensate in what we are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Let's simplify what we're doing, because we at times today we look at we're trying to we got too caught up in the hype of the first stuff. Like we did this, yeah. No, no. We start at zero. But in the second half, we start at zero again. 0 to 45 again. Fellas,
Mm-hmm.
simple build and take it from there.
Yeah, I understand.
Zach, what would you do?
Okay, well, I agree with both of y'all when y'all say that we should start with Ilanga, Rashford, and Sancho. I think that three, more pace. We need pace against a team like Brighton. I think Brighton, the way that they do like quick passing and you just watch them play, it's just amazing, and they play as a team.
I really worried about our Brighton game, for
Yeah.
one reason. Brighton plays high energy for 90 minutes.
Exactly.
They run and run and run. And the two issues we have identified, Maguire and Ronaldo, do have the running in them. For different reasons, one do have pace and one do have the legs. You understand? So I am really worried about Brighton. But go ahead, Zach.
That's why, I mean, I also agree with the fact that Lindelof should be playing instead of Maguire. I mean, what was that from Maguire today, boy? Lindelof and Varane are a great pairing, I think. I also would like Bailly, if possible, instead of Maguire, Bailly or Lindelof, But I think if we have those three forwards in Ilanga, Rashford, and Sancho, who offer a lot of pace and are quick to pass the ball and look for good options. I think that if we had Pogba, McTominay, and Bruno in the midfield, I think that they would be able to supply even the long ball over the top. That Pogba and Bruno always looking for Rashford or whoever's running in behind, and well, Rashford I think is probably one of the best at that, running in behind. I think that would be essential. Give Ronaldo a break. Although I have a feeling, a strong feeling that Ronaldo is not going to be dropped, but because it's Ronaldo, unfortunately, I think everybody should be treated the same way. A clean slate, if you want to call it that. But yeah, I mean, those would be the changes that I would make. Lindelof in for Maguire. All the other defenders, keep them. McTominay, Pogba, Bruno, and then the three up front that we all agreed on. So I wonder if CJ will agree on that too.
CJ, we coming to you after this. The floor is yours, CJ.
Well, first thing first, thanks for reminding me for Valentine's Day. Was bad enough already. Was tell why I don't. Yeah. Honestly, one game at a
CJ, I don't know what you're talking about, CJ. I have absolutely nobody to get any Valentine's gift from. The only benefit to that is I have nobody to buy a Valentine's gift for. You understand? But sometimes there is a problem that we would rather have than not. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, carry on.
yeah. Um, that's the thing. I think we just need to take it one game at a time. We need to just talk to the guys and say, here going on. A lot of times we know what we have to do, but we're not doing it. And I feel is that we're making it a bigger deal than it has to be. So let's simply just work. Let's simply do what we have to do. Let's simply play what we need to play. It's not rocket science. You don't need to just, people talking about, oh, we need to change this formation and do this and this and that. No. The formation is all right. Let's be very honest. The formation is okay. What you need to do is just that talk to certain players, bench certain players. For me, for the Brighton game, Ronaldo can't play that game. I'm very sorry, Ronaldo can't play that game. We need runners. That game is running. You need runners. One thing I will say with as Black Bruce Wayne said, even with Dalot, if he needs to defend, he needs to still start that game because personally, he would be great in that sense going forward because we need all the forward moves we need. Honestly, somebody needs to talk to Maguire. I don't know if it's a therapist or a spiritual advisor and tell him, hey, set this one out. It's okay. And I think like with Victor Lindelof, I think I heard in an interview how he's ready to go. He's just waiting for a chance. This is his chance. He's ready to go. Give him that because if we're being real, when you see the partnership with Lindelof and Varane, is very well, because Varane is not lacking in pace. Oh yeah, yes, he needs to be a bit more physical. But for me, Varane and Lindelof, they recover well. They don't get beat as easily. So for me, just take those changes. And I feel genuinely, if you make those changes, if you talk to guys, they have time to be talked to. Everything will work out, but one game at a time. Let's not look at everything that comes from that. Yeah. Go on.
Well, as y'all are saying, with Dalo, and his defensive work, he's gonna have it cut out for him with Cucurella
No,
and Lamptey. Oh, good. Why?
no, but I telling you something. And men like Trossard and thing, I concerned.
Yeah.
I worried. You know what I'm saying? We need to really put it together and handle our business. Because if we do not, we are going to have real challenges. Let's read this comment here from Carlton. The modern game has passed us by. Our movement of the ball is poor. Too many unnecessary dribbles. Rashford needs to take, what's that?
More
Take
free
free
kicks?
kicks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about that one, with the more free kicks thing.
I'm not sure either.
Well, right. What we know is what he need not to do. And what he need not to do is stop taking on players.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we know. He need not to do that. Guys,
Yeah.
He can learn from Sancho.
Brighton is going to be a challenge, but
Ah.
we are Manchester man's true and true, so we expect the best from our team. I keep seeing Ralph's ability to solve problems, and somewhere inside of me, I keep thinking somehow he's going to figure out how to get Ronaldo a couple tap-ins and get his mojo back, because that is the only thing I could see Ronaldo scoring at this point.
Yeah.
Either keeping mistake or some tap-ins. I just don't see Ronaldo doing anything Ronaldo-esque in the short term. I don't know if maybe his mojo will come back when Champions League comes around.
Unless
But-
That's on the 23rd. That is on the 23rd. So that's
You know what I mean? It's not like we have plenty time.
yeah.
So, we're going to hope for the best. going forward. And yeah, thanks for all of those people commenting, all of those people taking in the United Hour. Thanks to our guests,
Yeah.
Big Phil, CJ, Black Bruce Wayne, and Zachary. Thank you all for taking this time after what I mean. Every time we draw in recent times, it feels like a loss. So in these challenging times, thanks for taking the time.
This reminds me of the Louis Van Gaal season.
Oh Lord.
Remember we were drawing, draw. You could guarantee it was a draw. So this little period here,
What's the difference? Is we drawing when we with good performances.
yes,
Louis Van Gaal, the football was boring, right? We drawing and we every game it seems like it's the same chorus. We played good enough, but we didn't take our chances. We played good enough, but we didn't take our chances.
And better players on paper. You're not supposed to be a better
Well,
team.
yeah.
That's
Better
it,
players on paper.
that's it.
So, as I always say, Red Devils, we don't die, we multiply. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Saturday and have a blessed one.
Hey,
All right.
if you appreciate what we're doing here at the United Hour, please like, please subscribe, and let's grow this community.